James Gunn has made good on his promise to announce his first project since taking over as the head of DC Studios with Peter Safran. He, along with Peter, announced a whole slew of new films this Monday at a private press event on the Warner Brothers lot in Burbank that I, JimmyO, was lucky enough to attend. In his opening remarks, Gunn mentioned that his plan was to go from Shazam to The Flash to Blue Beetle to Aquaman to gasp, Superman, and indeed the Man of Steel will be returning in a film called Superman Legacy, which is due out on July 11th, 2025. And will be the first feature to be made by Gunn's group. No director or cast announced yet, however, it is clear that Safran believes a certain James Gunn is a perfect choice. He's currently writing it, and it is not an origin story. The film focuses on Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. Superman Legacy will be the first feature installment of what Gunn is calling Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters. Among the other features announced is Batman, the Brave and the Bold, which perhaps will see Bruce Wayne fighting alongside his son Damian Wayne, who will be Robin? It was fairly vague, aside from it being a father-son story. No news on who will be playing Batman, which is anyone's guess, but it will not be Robert Pattinson or Ben Affleck. Although they are talking about working with Affleck again on some other projects, so don't be surprised if he comes back. And Gunn mentioned the Batman 2 will start prepping this year, so we will be seeing some news of that shortly. There will also be Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which presumably will star the Flash's Sasha Calle. It appears to be much more harsh and effed up take on the character that we're used to. Gunn mentioned that he saw the Flash and he said he loved it, although whether Calle will be in this film is just still guesswork. Notably, some more unusual DC characters are getting films, with Gunn announcing a Swamp Thing movie looking at the dark origins of the character, as well as the Authority, which will feature characters from the Wildstorm imprint. And while these movies will be connected, they will not tonally be the same. This is a real passion project for Gunn, and they are currently working with writers to put the story together, and you know how much he likes to make unusual characters popular, see Guardians of the Galaxy. Gunn mentioned his plans on releasing 2 films and 2 TV series a year over 8 to 10 years. The TV series will include Waller, which was previously announced, starring Viola Davis, before Peacemaker Season 2, whenever that does happen. Next up was Creature Commandos, an animated series. Lantern, which will focus on Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, and it will be on HBO Max like all the series presented here. It will be more of a true detective type story, which I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with that. Paradise Lost is a live-action origin tale examining the history of the Amazonians pre-Wonder Woman. Peter describes this as a Game of Thrones type story about the birthplace of Wonder Woman taking place well before Diana Prince. Next up was Booster Gold, about a loser from the future who uses his basic future technology to come back today, and he pretends to be a superhero. It's based on the hero who eventually teams up with Blue Beetle in the comics. Will we see that happen? They didn't mention, but I wouldn't be surprised. With all these projects, you can expect a number of crossovers, and there will be many, with films deviating outside of it, like Joker 2 and The Batman 2. Of course, this is all meant to whet our appetites, with more reveals to come, more casting, more dates, all of it. While no casting has been announced yet, it sounds like, for the time being, Jason Momoa's Aquaman, Zachary Levi's Shazam, and even Ezra Miller's The Flash are all part of the new DC universe, but I suppose the reaction to the new films will be the ultimate judge. That's all we learned, and thank you to James Gunn, Peter Safran, and Warner Brothers for letting us come along and hear all the good news. Looking forward to it. What do you guys think? Comment below and let us know.